guys, Abnegates here with another quick tutorial video. This I'm actually going to be showing you how to acquire a lot of gil really fast and actually really easy. So, before we get started, one of the first things to note is that it's highly recommended that you have somebody with the Gillionaire enchantment on your weapon. This is pretty important due to the simple fact that having Gillionaire equipped will double any gil gains that you make. And for the sole purpose of doing this trick, Gillionaire helps out a whole lot. Now, you don't need it, but of course it doubles any gil gain, and with the specific creature that we're going to be farming, it makes quite a big difference. So, if you don't have Riku's Celestial weapon, or you don't use Riku or whatever reason you don't have a Gillionaire weapon, it's not very hard to get the items to enchant it on your weapon. You only need 30 designer wallets, and designer wallets actually are not that hard to come by. There's pretty much two main ways you can go about getting it, again, if you're not using Riku's Celestial weapon. One of the first ways to do it is that you can capture one of each fiend in the Omega Ruins. This will unlock the species creation Vorbin, and after you do that, the Monster Arena guy will give you 60 designer wallets, so you can basically customize onto two weapons instead of one. So that gives you a whopping 60, and the other way I know about doing it is you can go to Zanarkand Ruins and you can bribe Defender Z for about 850,000 gold, and he will drop around 5. Now, if you're watching this video, you probably need gold, you probably want to know how to get gil really fast. So 850k gil is not very ideal if you want it, but I mean, if there's absolutely no other way you can get designer wallets and you don't have Riku's Celestial weapon or you don't want to get it, then you know it might be a decent option for you. So here we go. First off, we're going to go into the Omega Ruins. Now, Omega Ruins is actually really easy and good place to farm, especially if you just got the airship and you're trying to get into late game and you're trying to farm up. The creatures there do give you a pretty decent amount of XP. Most of them are fairly entry level, minus a few exceptions, and there's nothing you really have to worry about except getting ambushed by the stupid ass Malboro that puts like 20 status effects on you, and you basically die if you run into it. So here we go. What we're looking for right now is we're looking exactly for this encounter, the silly little Zorus and the chest. Now, like, 8 times out of 10, 9 times out of 10, this chest is going to be a mimic. You're going to walk up to the mimic, or the chest, and you're going to steal from it, and if it's a mimic, it'll say nothing to steal, and it'll transform into some doppelganger of an early monster you've ever killed, and then, yeah. So what you do is you just kill these guys. Make sure you kill the mimic, of course. And remember, you want to make sure that you always steal from the chest first, and you don't kill the reptile before you steal from the chest, or of course you won't get the gold from it. So now that we killed from the mimic with Gillionaire on, that will give you a whopping 100k gil. So as you can see right there, I got 101k, and that might not seem like that much, but this is definitely the fastest and easiest way to get tons and tons of gil. Every other way I know about just revolves around you selling weapons, or you putting a measly enchant onto the weapon and selling it to increase its value. And there's also another method that's not so time efficient, but it's also pretty good, which is farming One Eye, and I'll go into that shortly after this video. I also did a One Eye fight in my other video with the Don Tomberry AP trick, but I think this is pretty much a lot easier instead of doing One Eye, because One Eye, he doesn't have a guaranteed chance of dropping a super weapon that can sell for like 60k. So it is good if you want to farm him for magic defense spheres and a chance of getting dark matter, because as all creations in the monster arena, they all have like, I think, a 1 in 8 chance. They have a pretty low chance of dropping dark matter. So if that's your goal and you want to try and get some weapons, then you can farm One Eye. If your main goal is just getting gil, you want to get a lot of gil as much as possible, this is probably the best way to do it. Because it drops 100k, so I mean, that's a lot. There's really no other way you can get that much gil in one fight. And now, I know I'm not running into many encounters with the Mimic chest, but don't be fooled, it actually does have a very high encounter rate. Actually, probably the highest encounter rate out of all of them. I can't tell you how many times I ran through here, and I got like 5 times in a row the freaking Zaurus in the chest, so they do pop up quite a lot. I'm just not getting very lucky. Of course, it's still much easier. It's probably the best way to do it. And this is, okay, this is exactly what you need to worry about right here if you're doing this. Because if you do not have, if you don't have Berserk Proof and Confuse Proof gear on, like, when you're doing this, there's a pretty good chance that that guy's gonna come out of nowhere and he's gonna fuck you with Bad Breath. And what Bad Breath is especially in accordance to the fact that he always ambushes you, he puts all these status effects on you. He puts, you know, poison, darkness, everything, and he puts Confuse and Berserk, and that's really important because if you have poison on you and you don't have effect of your character, the poison is just gonna keep ticking you down, and even if you are Berserk and you're just attacking him, if you're not strong and you can't kill him, that poison is just going to tick out your entire party. You know, you'll have your party members attacking each other. So it's a pretty big deal if you're trying to farm the Omega Runes in general and you don't have Berserk and Confuse Proof. You absolutely need it if you're going to do this seriously and not worry about dying. You can do it without it, but you're taking a really big chance because this is the only save sphere in the entire map. So if you make it all the way to the end of the dungeon and, you know, you kill Nemesis, you know, whoop-de-doo, there's only one save sphere. So you can make it through the entire dungeon. I mean, the entire dungeon. If you run into that Marlboro guy once, you're wiping if you don't have that gear. There's absolutely nothing you can do unless you get extremely lucky and for some reason it doesn't put Berserk and Confuse on you at the same time. I mean, and you have to get really fucking lucky. You're just gonna die. So it's pretty recommended that you do that. So here we go. We got about 2 or 3 runs. As you can see, I got some decent gil. I'm already at 1 million. So, you know, you get 100k per run of that, which is pretty good. It's definitely the easiest and fastest way. And again, you don't have to be ridiculously strong to come in here and do that. You don't have to be hitting for 99k. Hell, you don't even have to break damage limit yet. I mean, you can kill those guys if you're hitting for just 9,000. So you don't even need break damage limit. The only thing that you need is you need steel on your main, or whoever you're doing this with, you have to have steel. And it is highly recommended that you have Gilly in there, just because you'll be getting 100k instead of 50k, and that's a pretty big difference. So yeah, you can do this as early as you get the airship. And here we go on to the other method, which doesn't always give you as much gold, but it's still pretty effective.
Here we go.
And along while you're doing this, you can get also you can get some decent gear that drops off of him that you can sell, you know, from like the 20 through 60k range. So it's a decent method. And of course, if you're farming this guy, he also drops the triple AP weapons. And if you want to do the Don Tomberry trick, as I stated in my previous video, he's also really good to farm if you need those triple AP weapons, if you want to get into doing that. I've already covered that in most of my other videos, so if you want to do that, just give it a check out. So here we go. I'm gonna go back into here, and I'll give you guys a quick rundown on what this guy does again, just in case you want to farm him up or whatnot. He's actually not that hard to farm, but he's definitely harder to fight if you if Omega Runes is still entry level for you. Like, if Omega Runes is hard for you to do, or it's the only thing you can do, then this is that you probably shouldn't do this method. This is for if you already can kill him pretty fast, considering. By pretty fast, I mean you can kill him in a few hits or 2 hits. Myself, I can kill him in 2 hits, so, you know, that's ridiculously fast. That's the fastest it's gonna get. So here we go, we kill him, and if we're lucky, he'll probably drop the triple AP weapon. So here we go. Okay, so unfortunately he didn't drop it. He dropped the magic defense gear, which is not that big of a deal. So we're just gonna go in and fight him until we get a triple AP weapon, just so you can see how much it sells for. And again, this is an easier, or I wouldn't say it's easier, but it's an alternative if you don't want to farm in the Omega Runes, you're just bored of it. And you can kill this guy really fast, and, you know, it'll be a pretty good alternative. Like I said, he drops weapons, he drops some magic defense spheres if you're trying to max out, you know, your magic defense. So here we go, we got Kimahri's weapon right here, Horn of the Ronso. So just to go into that right here, I'm gonna buy weapons. And this guy will always drop weapons, so if you don't want to take a chance with the RNG of Omega Ruins trying to, you know, encounter the mimics and whatnot, this guy always drops weapons. However, you won't be getting 100k just off of one weapon. So he just dropped Horn of the Ronso. Horn of the Ronso is Kamari's, so where is that at? Again, my bags are pretty damn messy here. Horn of the Ronso, okay. So this one weapon that just dropped right here is worth 67k. And that actually goes for any weapon that's triple slotted. So if it has triple AP on it and it has 2 free slots, it's going to be worth 67k. If it has 1 slot like this, it's going to be worth 22k. So it's actually not so bad. But then again, you're not always going to get the triple slotted weapons. So here we go, I'm just going to sell that because I don't need these. And all these other sorcery, shields, mage shields, all this magic gear that he drops, you can also sell it for a decent amount. Not that much, but it's worth something. So there you go. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed it. Those are 2 pretty easy ways of getting, you know, pretty massive amounts of gil if you're willing to put in some time. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Please give it a like, comment, rate, subscribe if you want, and let me know what I can improve on. Let me know what you want to see in the future. And I appreciate you guys watching. Hope you all have a good day.